Hey guys, this is your boy Markcoos, and welcome back to Marcus's Reign at Arsenal, episode number 5. And as you can see, Mertesacker's not happy with me. You're not going to suggest that the reason I got injured was my fault for not looking after myself, are you? What do you expect if you keep playing until I run to a standstill in every game? Don't know what he's talking about. He's a defender. He's meant to play for the whole game. Anyway, it doesn't matter. For the first match of this episode, it's against Dynamo Kyiv, and as you can see, this episode is just over 20 minutes long, and you'll be like, why are they so long? Why are the episodes so long? Because there's so many bloody goals in this episode compared to the other ones. The other ones, there's only been 15 minutes, roughly 15, 16, maybe 17 minutes, but this one's 20 minutes, 30 seconds long, because there's so many goals. But it's Arsenal versus Kyiv in the first game, and we're away from home, and it's in the Olympic Stadium in Kyiv. And this game, I had to rest a lot of players because the majority of them all just went bad form when Mertesacker came out and started talking his crap. So, the likes of Adler and Jenkinson start. And we're going against Dynamo Kyiv, who we didn't destroy, but we beat them before, so it doesn't really make it too hard to beat them again. And basically, the thing which is best about this is the fact that their team isn't very hard, should I say. They're a pretty basic team. They're not particularly difficult, and with Barcelona in my group, it wasn't going to be difficult to get second spot with Barcelona and Anderlecht as the other two teams. I mean, that makes it not too difficult, pretty easy. So only Taiwo and Miguel Veloso, the only two players that I actually recognise from the starting lineup, who are actually playing like good football like nowadays. Even though I'm not saying Dynamo Kyiv aren't a good team, but they're not one of the best teams in Europe. So I started with Adler in goal, Giroud, Vermaelen, Sanya, Jenkinson, Diaby, Wilshere, Cazorla, Walcott, Giroud, and Podolski. So it was a pretty strong team other than Diaby and Wilshere and Jenkinson and Giroud. Of course, Adler is more or less the same rating as Szczesny, so it doesn't really matter. But in the 16th minute of the match, Cazorla for the ball up to Abu Diaby, and look at this force strike from the Frenchman that everyone's going to make. He's just like Patrick Vieira. I remember when I read all those articles comparing him to Patrick Vieira. He's nothing like him. He's just a black bald guy, and everyone's going over how mental he is. And he plays for Arsenal. I don't know, but anyway, I'm happy with it. I'm clapping away. In the 25th minute of the match, they get through a goal, and he hits it wide, and I'm just like, fair enough. Need to up my game a bit then. So it's 1-0 at half time, and we're not. Well, we're dominating, as you can see from the stats. I was going to say we're not going to be dominating, but we are. We've had 10 shots hit on target, 51% possession. So, into the second half, 47th minute, they get a ball eventually through, and I think it's Raphael's through on goal. He gets a shot away, and Adler makes a pretty good save, to be perfectly honest. But in the 62nd minute, get a ball to Giroud. Giroud ends up doesn't even chest it out, ends up getting through, and Shavkovsky takes him out. And like I said, well, I didn't even say this, but in the last episode I had 2 penalties, and in this episode I get 1 penalty, and this is the only penalty of the match. And Shavkovsky gives one away last episode, but in this one he gives another one away. But like as you can see there, I'm expecting I wanted a red card. But anyway, never got a red card. But Podolski to take the penalty, and he smacks it slam bang down the middle. That's how you take a penalty in PES, because half the time, but a bit more than half the time, the goalkeepers always dive. So that sort of makes it pretty easy and simple. So yeah, Podolski scores in about 60 odd minutes, so it's 2-0, and I'm just like, nah, good enough. That's good enough for me, basically. As you can see, I'm happy with it. But in the 72nd minute, get the ball through to Theo Walcott, and he's just through on goal. And once Theo Walcott's through on goal and he's on form, he will most likely score every single time. So he scores, and it's 3-0 after 73 minutes, so it's taken roughly 10 minutes to score another one. So yeah, so 3-0 after 74 minutes, and it's just like, not bad at all. So we go, kick-off, of course, happens again. Giroud ends up giving the ball away. Marco Ruben gets through on goal, and he pops it past Adler, who really should save it. There's nothing to stop me, and nothing to stop Dynamo Kyiv, should I say. And in the 88th minute, they score. So it's 3-1 after 88 minutes, and I was just like, I'm not taking this. So Diaby ends up getting the ball back. Gets out to Theo Walcott on the right hand side. He low crosses it in back to Diaby. Shavkovsky makes a good save, but it comes to Santi Cazorla, and that is a simple finish for the Spanish hitman. That's what I'm going to start calling him, the Spanish hitman, because he's so bloody good. His shot's so powerful, and he's so accurate with his finishes. So 4-1, 90 minutes, basically last kick of the game. So basically we win the match 4-1, and we'll see the stats, and we absolutely dominated from half-time, as expected. We are a much bigger club than Dynamo Kyiv, so we do deserve to win these sort of matches. As you see in the stats, 20 shots, 14 on target. They only had 7 shots, 2 on target, and we, again, dominated on possession. So, like I said, so that's 5 goals so far in this episode so far. It's only the first match. And like I said, there's a lot of goals in this episode, but Santi Cazorla gets man of the match for, I think, assisting 2 and scoring 1. So, not bad at all for him. But the other result from today's game is 4-2 to Barcelona. As you can see, Barcelona beat Anderlecht in Belgium, and the group's looking quite nice right now. I mean, Barcelona are top, Arsenal second, Anderlecht are third, and Dynamo Kyiv are bottom, and Arsenal need a point in the Nou Camp to qualify for the last 16, so it's not bad at all. So into the next match at Carrow Road. Now, like with PES usually it goes on for quite a while, then eventually you face a team. If you've been on a winning run, it just sort of goes, you're going to be absolutely destroyed in one match. So I was like, I think this might be the match. So Norwich, of course, I played them in the cup, and it was a 2-2 draw until the extra time where I beat them 4-2. So we're playing in the purple away kit, and it's just like, alright, this shouldn't be too difficult. It was a pretty solid team, and as you see, Norwich don't even start with Grant Holt. He's on the bench. They started with Morrison and Jackson up front, and I thought, this is going to be pretty easy. They had Stair and goal, not their first team goalkeeper. I had Mertesacker, Diaby and Wilshere were the only players who didn't actually start for me, or the first starters. But this game, very, very difficult. You'll see how, you won't really see how difficult it is, but you'll see from the stats what I'm talking about. So they kick off, and in the 21st minute, they get the ball with, I think it's Jackson to Morrison, Howson to Morrison. Howson gets away, really poor defending for my part, and Howson pops in the back of the net. So after 20 minutes, they're Norwich are 1-0 up, and I'm just like, what's going on? I mean, like, literally, you'll see from the stats at half time that I was not playing well at all, and they did deserve a 1-0 lead. And it was a pretty good finish, to be fair, from the English midfielder, from former Leeds midfielder. But yeah, so at half-time, come out to half-time, Chesney ends up grabbing the ball here from the corner kick, and he kicks it away, and the whistle goes for half-time. So it's 1-0 to Norwich. Now, you'll see the stats as what I'm talking about as to why I wasn't really playing well. Coming up now, and as you see, I've had 4 shots and 0 target, and I've had less possession than them. I'm really just not, I wasn't playing well at all. So I make a couple of changes, and I take Royce off and bring in Arshavin. I move Podolski to second striker, and it really works out. As you can see, this amazing goal just after half-time. Podolski, near post volley. Absolutely insane finish from Podolski. Such a powerful finish into the top corner of Steer's goal. And the fact that Steer was on that side also makes the finish just as magnificent, really. But as you can see, you'll see it here. I mean, he takes one touch with his right foot and he just hits it. It's so fast. I mean, it's even fast in slow motion. That's how fast it is. But in the 48th minute, Podolski with the ball again. A great through ball through to Olivier Giroud. And once like I said before in the last match, that once Giroud's thrown goal, he more or less scores about 85% of the time, unless the goalkeeper actually comes out. So Giroud ends up finessing it off the post. And yeah, so I lead 2-1 after 50 minutes. And I was just like, alright then. Not bad at all. I mean, it is Norwich. I mean, it's not like it's Man United or someone. It's a pretty poor team in terms of stats, but they came back and they fought really hard. But I mean, they ended up getting the ball on the right hand side, pass it back, and Pilkington pops it in the 88th minute or 68th minute, something like that, and Norwich equalised 2-2. So I was like, God damn it! I mean, like, I really was hoping I was actually going to go out for the win. So yes, it was 66 minutes, but in the 70th minute, look at that 4 volley from Podolski. You see a replay of it. It's an absolutely insane volley. I mean, he sets it up for himself once. I think it's Diaby heads it down to him. He sets it up for himself, and look at that 4 volley, but the Stair keeps out the top corner, and basically I clear it. And at full time, it's 2-2 between Norwich and Arsenal. I mean, Jesus Christ. But I mean, as you see, they had 6 shots, 5 on target, I had 11 shots, 5 on target, and I brought back the possession to 50-50, but to be fair, I think a 2-2 result was probably the best I was probably going to get, to being honest. I mean, I fouled 8 times. It's a lot of fouls. But Podolski gets man of the match. And Arshavin, even though he came on at half-time, did literally nothing, considering that his rating was 5.5. So the results are West Brom beat Stoke, Liverpool got beat by QPR, Wigan got beat by Chelsea, of course, and Fulham got beat by Everton. Everton really going up the table. They had such a poor start to the season. West Ham beat Man United, Man City beat Reading, Swansea and Sunderland had 2-2 draws, Southampton got beat by Aston Villa, and Tottenham beat Newcastle. So the table's looking pretty good for Arsenal at the current moment. I mean, Man City go back to the top due to the fact that they won and Arsenal drew, but Arsenal's still unbeaten, so it's not looking too bad in terms for the Gunners. But West Ham, of course, are third. I mean, that's insane. But as you see, from the FA Cup / English Cup / League Cup / Carling Cup / Capital One Cup, it's Arsenal versus Stoke, and this match was filled with goals. And like I said, there are many goals scored in this episode. So far, there's been 9. And if you did hear that click, that was just my knuckle. So, yeah, I play another strong team. But Adler does come into goal. I was a bit pissed off that Chesney was conceding goals on a regular basis. So, yeah. And the team is pretty strong, if I'm being honest. I mean, but I'm going up against Stoke. And you'll see what the retarded decisions Stoke make concerning with one of their players. And he's black. And he plays striker, but he plays right back. But yeah, I started off a front three, good front three, but you'll see what I'm talking about. Kenwyne Jones is playing in a defensive role at right back. I've never seen him play right back in my whole life. So, yeah, I don't know where the hell that came from, but kick off, and in the 8th minute, Jonathan Malthouse actually gets through on goal. And I was like, what the hell? And Jonathan Malthouse takes a shot and he hits it just wide, and I was like, holy crap. But again, 60 minutes, Jonathan Malthouse gets through on goal, and he hits it again wide, and I was like, what the hell? So I get the ball with Giroud, chip up for myself, and what a finish from Olivier Giroud. He scored once again against Stoke. Last time he played Stoke in the last episode, he actually scored a hat trick. So I was hoping for good stuff from him. But yeah, it was an absolutely amazing first touch and a really good finish from the French striker. I'm sure he's a top goal scorer right now at Arsenal, because no one else is really scoring goals, if I'm being honest. But in the 23rd minute here, get the ball with Jack Wilshere about 25 yards out, and look at that force strike across the goalkeeper into the top corner, and he goes to hug Kieran Gibbs, and somehow Rennie Adler appears from absolutely nowhere, as if he's been playing left midfield, and he comes and hugs in as well. He really better get back in goal before they have the kickoff to an easy finish. But look at that. What a goal from Jack Wilshere. A future Arsenal captain material right there. In the 28th minute, I get a through ball through to Theo Walcott. He actually gets a shot away from a really tight angle, and Begovic just for some reason just falls to the ground. And it's 3-0 after 28 minutes. I mean, Jesus Christ, that's pretty mental. So Walcott scored as well. And Begovic, of course, should be doing better there, but I'm not going to complain. But 32nd minute, another through ball through to Podolski, and another tight finish, and another goal. I mean, bloody hell, Begovic just can't defend. None of Stoke can defend at all. And look at that. Look, a great camera angle for Podolski's celebration. And Podolski has scored another goal. Certainly did score a really good goal against Norwich in the last game. He scores another pretty good goal. Another powerful finish again, really. But in the 45th minute, another great through ball from Arteta through to Olivier Giroud. And once, like I said, once Giroud's through on goal, he most likely won't miss. So 5-0 at half time. That is pretty good result for Arsenal, to be honest. I mean, it's in the FA Cup, English Cup, Carling Cup, Capital One Cup, League Cup thing. So yeah, Arsenal winning 5-0 at half time. Well, I'm winning 5-0 at half time. They kick off and it's half time. So the stats don't lie. The stats never lie. Stoke have had 3 shots and 0 on target, and Arsenal have had 10 shots, 7 on target. Dominating possession, dominating on pass completion. I'm basically playing the best football of my career at the current moment. So make a couple of changes. Chamberlain comes in, Mertesacker comes in, and Jenkinson comes in. So 51st minute of the match, Walcott again through on goal, and like I said, Walcott just can finish all over the place. He ends up hitting the post, and Begovic again just can't save another shot going again across his body, and we lead 6-0. And Walcott scored 2, Giroud scored 2, Trevino, Podolski with 1, and Wilshere with 1. So I seem to be a bit content with that. I mean, I'm not jumping out my seat with it, but I'm going to have to keep my boys grounded. I mean, I don't want them to go to too many high places. But yeah, we absolutely dominated. I mean, they only had one shot on target, and Arsenal had nine. I mean, Jesus Christ, and we absolutely just like pulling in possession. Like we played the good football really. And Giroud got man of the match, even though Arteta did deserve it. He ended up assisting 4 goals in the first half. It's pretty impressive. But Man City beat QPR, Blackburn beat Cardiff, Chelsea beat Bolton, Everton got beat by Sunderland, West Brom beat Crystal Palace, Newcastle beat Huddersfield, and Man United beat Blackpool. And, like, those are pretty good results. But of course, I think Man United are on my side, so on my terms. So yeah. So the next game it'll be Arsenal versus West Brom, Newcastle versus Man United, Man City versus Blackburn, and Chelsea versus Sunderland. There's only one championship team left in it, but I'm most likely it's going to be an Arsenal Man United semi-final, or maybe Man City Chelsea. So it's going to be a difficult thing to win this cup. But into the last match of the episode, it's Arsenal versus West Ham at the Emirates Stadium, another home game. We played 2 away games, 2 home games. Pretty good. But the match after this, for the next episode, the first match of the next episode is going to be a really vital one for wherever the league title goes. But as Arsenal at home playing, we're in the vibrant red and white, and West Ham wear the blue and claret blue, or whatever the hell it's called, claret and blue. But it was basically Arsenal's best team. Be perfectly honest, with me. Arteta, Wilshere, Royce were the middle three, and Podolski, Giroud, and Walcott were the front three. But Henderson was in goal instead of Yaskalainen, and that was a big mistake from Sam Allardyce. I mean, he started with Carroll, Vazte, and O'Neill, but it didn't really help because you'll see what I'm talking about. So far there's been 15 goals in just this episode, but in the second minute of the match, Vermaelen ends up heading the post, and I was just like, alright then. But here, Walcott's running up the 13th minute, gets the ball to Podolski. Podolski gets a shot away, comes right back to Theo Walcott, and he pops it in because Henderson just is such a rubbish goalkeeper. So Walcott scored now 2 goals in 2 games. No, 3 goals in 2 games. So yeah, he's on a pretty good goal scoring run. So I was like, not bad at all from Theo Walcott, and I was happy, of course, clapping there. But in the 16th minute, I ended up getting the ball with Theo Walcott, pass it back to Markcoos, and he's about 30 yards out. And look at that clanger from the goalkeeper. It just goes straight through him, basically. And Markcoos scores another goal. Summer signing, really doing well for the club. And he's starting to improve. His overall, gone up by 4 already, which I think is pretty insane. But anyway, it comes up to the 26th minute. Royce gets the ball, another through ball through to Olivier Giroud. And when I was saying that Giroud, once he's through on goal, will score, look at that 4 finish. A nice, calm, composed finish with the inside of his left foot, but into the near right hand side. It was pretty nice. He ends up doing his little dance, even though he's only scored 1 goal. Usually it only happens when he scored a hat trick, but I'm not going to complain. I like his little dance. So, yeah, as you can see, this is what I'm talking about. There's a little hop, and then he actually finesses it into the near post, which I think was pretty impressive with his stronger foot. Like, he sort of went across the ball, which makes it even harder. But at halftime, it's 3-0, and I've had 12 shots on target. They've only had 2 shots, 2 shots and 2 on target, but I've had 56% possession and dominating on pass completion. So in the start of the second half, Jarvis gets away from me here, passes to O'Neill, and O'Neill crosses it across the box to Andy Carroll, who pops into the back of the net. And to be fair, I've always enjoyed Andy Carroll. He's a pretty good player. Liverpool just never played him properly, and West Ham will most likely benefit from his height and his heading ability, and from any ability he actually has. And I may or may not buy him to be a backup for Olivier Giroud, considering I don't actually have another striker other than Theo Walcott, Podolski, and Thierry Henry. But look at this 4 finish from Theo Walcott. That is a fantastic finish. A Podolski corner in. I think it was Vermaelen heads it backwards, and Theo Walcott just comes in and volleys in with it inside of his right foot. And fantastic finesse right in the middle with so much power, as you can see here. It's absolutely amazing. Look at that 4 finish. Good animation and everything. But Ramsey and Jenkinson come on to replace Wilshere and Gibbs. I don't know where Wilshere's going. He's just walking away. He's just pissed off at me for some reason. But yeah, the game ends 4-1, so that's now 21 goals scored this episode. That's insane. That's why it's so long. But as you can see, we had 17 shots on target, 17 shots, 11 on target, and Theo Walcott gets man of the match for scoring 2 goals. And I think he's assisted one as well, which is pretty good. But Chelsea beat QPR, Everton beat Liverpool in the Merseyside derby, Man United beat Wigan, and Man City actually got beat by Fulham Athletic. And I was like, no, Fulham Athletic, Fulham FC. I was like, what the hell's going on there? Considering that they are Man City and they were top of the table. But I'm not going to complain. So I'm not going to start complaining now, but Sunderland beat Reading, Aston Villa got beat by Norwich, Newcastle beat Swansea, Tottenham beat West Brom, and Stoke got beat by Southampton. So the results are starting to go with me. Arsenal top of the table again. Man City, Man United, and Newcastle make up the other top four positions. Chelsea, West Ham, Tottenham, not bad at all. And I'm sure I look at the top bottom of the table. The bottom three are Aston Villa, Fulham, and Stoke. So if you have enjoyed this episode of Markcoos' reign at Arsenal, subscribe to my channel for more.